This is my lovely dog, Brisket, and she is here to help me demonstrate today how to train your dog and some of the most important things you can keep in mind and the ways you can set yourself up for success. I think one of the most important things of all of the things is to remember that as trainers, number one, our job is to provide a source of motivation for our dogs to do the desired behavior. And then be very patient with it. We have to train ourselves more than we have to train our dog. Dogs have two main sources of motivation to do any behavior that you try to teach them. One is praise. Brisket, good girl, Brisket. You see that tail wagging? She is very motivated by praise, this dog. And even dogs that are very motivated by praise, they're still going to respond to treats. It's not like they don't love treats. Treatsy treats. Oh yeah, that got her attention right away. And for my dog, I also had to learn what her dietary restrictions were because she had a lot of them. And so you have to kind of do your homework even before this point, or as you go, take notes. Now, my dog will do most anything I ask her to do. She's a very good dog. Brisket, sit. Good girl. Brisket, plots. Absolutely correct. Brisket, touch. Brisket, go away. Brisket, come. Sit. Stand. Brisket, speak. Yes. And about the only thing she actually has had a hard time learning is rollover. So for whatever reason, that one is very, you gotta understand we're teaching dogs to do things that don't come naturally to them. And we're also thinking about it from our human brains, right? We're not thinking about it usually from the dog's perspective of how to get them to do that thing. Our biggest job is to figure out, number one, how dogs think, figure out how our dog thinks and what motivates them, and then to stay patient and apply those training techniques. As my cat is actually walking into view, and even my cat has learned some basic tricks that she'll do for treats. Espinaca, siéntate. Buena gata. Excelente. Espérate. Oh, that's a good girl. So my cat has learned a few things, and I usually tell her in Spanish so that it doesn't get confused between sit to Brisket and siéntate for the cat. And they know their roles, although Brisket tries to follow all the commands, even the ones in Spanish, because she is an overachiever. Brisket, turn around, face the camera. Tell everyone what a good girl you are. Say, I am the bestest girl. But back to our setup for training, because this is just a basic setup video. I find a clicker to be very, very, very handy. You can see I've already got her attention. She knows that when this thing clicks, she's going to get a treat. I would recommend you watch the video if you've never had a clicker before, never used it in dog training. You watch a video specifically on that. There is a technique known as loading the clicker, which is simply showing the dog when they hear that sound, they're about to get a treat. And with the proper training techniques, you can delay the actual treating for a little bit longer. You never want it to go too long, otherwise they're going to disassociate that sound with the treat. But that is what they call loading the clicker, and I do recommend you watch a video on that. So for a setup for a difficult trick, such as rollover, you're going to want to have an open space, plenty of space, because your dog is going to contort themselves in all different positions to try to do what you're asking them to do. You're going to want to have some of their favorite treats in a very easily treatable manner. I have taken one of her favorite dental treats and cut it into little pieces so that I can give her just the piece that I want. It also is the size where I can hold it firmly between my fingers without losing my grip on it, because she's going to try to take that out of my hand. That's a normal thing for a dog to do. So remember, we're going to try to use positive reinforcement and encourage them. Training time, you need to set aside all of your negative reinforcement ideas. It needs to be positive reinforcement. So if she tries to take that treat from my hand, even if I don't want that, I'm not going to, be fussing her out or telling her no. I'm just going to stay focused on the task at hand and reward the behavior that she does that gets closer and closer to the desired end result. So, for example, I've chosen plots instead of lay down. Many people say down or lay down, and she probably would respond to that as well. She's picked up on my body cues very well. But I don't want, I like a more easily distinctible word, such as plots, which is actually German, and they use that in a lot of military and police dog training. Brisket. Plots. Excellent. Good. And you also want to make sure to give your dog plenty of praise as well. Again, my dog is actually very praise motivated. Good girl. That's very good. Stay. Good. Good. Stay. And until that dog hears another command, they should not be moving. Now, I did some work with my dog earlier, so this is actually fresh in her mind. It's going to go a lot better than it did this morning. But the key in training dogs is to stay consistent and to give a little bit of time to this, if not every day, multiple times, 2 or 3 times, 3 or 4 times throughout the week. So when you want to teach them rollover, I'm already showing her with my hand. I want you to be in the down position. Wait, plots. I'm bringing her back to the desired initial position because she's getting ahead of me here. There we go. And then you're drawing a circle with your hand that is holding the treat very firmly close to the ground so they don't get up. And you're drawing it in the direction that it will be able for them to roll over. She's got her back foot out to her left. So I'm going to want her to roll to the right. But I also look over and I notice she's really close to this crate here. So the first thing I'm going to do is actually get her to back up and move into the room into a more clear area. Brisket, back. 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 All right, plots. Good. Good girl. And then you may have a hard time getting your dog to roll over right away. They may just shift their weight and start laying on their side. That is already a rewardable behavior, especially for a dog that has never fully learned rollover or has trouble with that one. So I've got the treat here. She has now shifted her weight to where her leg is out to this side. So I've got to stay aware of that as a dog trainer. So I'm going to take her to this side, to her left now. All right, Brisket. I'm going to follow her cues to show her where to go. Almost, almost. And that, if you're having a dog with a hard time with that, that may already be a time to treat them. And I'm going to reset her because she's getting way off to the side. Brisket, come over here. Good. Plots. Good girl. I'm going to wait and see which way she's shifting, and I'm going to show her the motion. And now she's going to the other side, and this is why it requires patience. The dog trainer must have a lot of patience. All right, Brisket. Oh, that's such a good girl. Good. And you're going to praise her and praise her. Give her pets, give her love, tell her, good job, you're so smart. Yes, good girl. And then we're going to go back into it, and this time I'm going to actually give her the command. Brisket, plots. Good. And this time I've got my clicker ready. I really should have had it ready last time. All right, Brisket, roll over. She wants to go with, whoop, I dropped the treat. That was my bad. Brisket, plots. You see, they get very excited. Do not discourage your dog for being excited. Their excitement is a tool to you getting what you want. You do have to be patient, though. Brisket, roll over. Excellent. Good job. And see, she got it. It still took her a few tries, even though we did some training this morning. But that's the thing. The number one obstacle to training your dog is often going to be you. No offense, but it's usually going to be yourself. Me, I'm the biggest obstacle. I get impatient. I give my dog improper cues. I sometimes fail to notice which direction she's trying to go. And then I'm working against her own energy. You want to work with your dog's energy, and you really want to use that because they either want to please you and make you happy and proud of them, or they really want that treat. It's one or the other, and oftentimes it's both. I got a dog. I'm just very fortunate to have a dog that wants both. Brisket, sit. Good girl. Shake. Good girl. Other shake. That's such a good girl. And it's often a combination too of your own body cues that you're giving them. Watch, I'm not going to say a word. Good. That's a good speak. Good girl. And the thing is, if you have a dog that's praise motivated, initially give them a lot of treats with the training. I have a dog that's super praise motivated. I don't need to give her treats constantly 24/7 for doing something I ask. She is very praise motivated. Good girl. Good girl, yes. You're so smart. And I hope you enjoyed that little miniature episode of training today.